sewing a memory bear out of baby clothes. So right now I'm sewing together the headpiece. Just been working on pinning. Head, and I'm just trimming off that excess seam with my pinking shears or my zigzag shears. And now I'm going to sew the darts. Dart sewn. I don't know if you've ever sewn this pattern, but it does require darts, and I like to trim them with these scissors and give it a little bit of a curve. I think this just kind of gives the head of the memory bear a little bit more of a smoother and a rounder backside, so it just doesn't look so stiff. This is the front of the memory bear. We have the pocket and then the inner legs, and then this is also the back of the memory bear. We have the back and the legs. They've got Green Bay Packers. I'm an Eagles fan, so but it's so cute. And then this little patch here for the leg of the bear. So I've been working on it, and I've got the ears as well. So we're gonna keep on going. The part here that I'm getting ready to do is the face and the nose of the bear. I have my bear pattern, and I have it kind of edged out and lined on here where I want my nose piece to go. So let me grab my cotton fabric that I need. So for the nose, I like to use a piece of cotton knit fabric, and this is just an old maternity shirt that I know I'm not going to need anymore. So I'm using this as the nose piece. Thought I heard baby waking up. Not yet. So I just cut off a small rectangle, and I have it set up where I want this piece to go. Oh, where's my ruler? Not in there. So with my ruler and a pencil, this will work. I'm going to make a straight line across where I marked on my pattern. So I know exactly where I'm going to lay that nose piece. So I'm just going to lay the black fabric straight down. And then I'm going to flip it over. And stitch a straight line across where I just traced. And I believe where I am in Boston. So this is what it looks like on this side, and then we're just gonna flip that down, and now we have black fabric for our nose piece, and I'm gonna trim around the edges. Now as I go to place this on my face piece, I'll show you exactly what that looks like once I stitch it. So I like to take a clip, put it right in the middle of that center piece, that center seam, and then I have this center piece marked on my nose. And I like to clip around like the front gusset of the nose. And then as I work my way out, I will start to add pins. So about 2 clips on each side. And then from here, I'll pin my way up the fabric and the side of that nose and towards the top of the eye. And I like to do like 2 on each side, and then I'll switch to the opposite side, and that just kind of helps keep me balanced and make sure that the pattern is staying even. I don't want too much on one side, and then I get to the other side and realize, oh, I'm not pinning accurately, and then my fabric is off, lopsided and wonky. So I do like to alternate. And because these patterns have curves, I like to use pins and go back and forth because it just really helps seal that pattern in, because you kind of have to give it a little bend and turn to curve it a little bit when you're pinning these pattern pieces together, because they are not just straight pieces that you've got. So you can clip around it, you can pin, you don't have to use any clips. I love the combination of clips and pins, but that is completely up to you. So I have my nose piece pinned to the face, and now we are going to sew. Oh my, the pin popped off and not the needle. And for this nose part right now, I'm following this blue line that I've traced onto my pattern, and that will really help with an accurate straight nose, so there's no curve, and it's just not wonky. To pin and clip a lot, so nothing shifts while I'm sewing, especially because my table is weak. I don't know, it really just, this machine doesn't stay as still like it used to. It's probably also time for an upgrade, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we have our nose piece. I just trimmed off a little bit of that excess fabric, and I'm going to go back around and do the seam again. But I did just want to show you what the nose looks like once it is clipped. And you kind of can see, I haven't pressed out these seams, but you can kind of see it's like bulky in here. So what I need to do is I need to really go ahead and trim up this seam here so it doesn't look that bulky. I can flatten it out, and I will, and can also take an ironing tool to it. But once I go in with my embroidery scissors, which, okay there, these because they give a nice clean cut, and they have a curve, if you can see, which makes it super easy. So I'm gonna go through on these seams that have, and Manu, try not to touch it. That have some curve, because when we're stuffing these bears, we don't want it to be super bulky. Did you touch it at all? A little bit? A slight bit? Okay, do you need something? We're gonna do our art project in about 10 minutes.
Yay, art project.
So I want you to go straighten up your room.
But I did need a hug.
You need a hug? Okay. We can do that. Okay. Yeah, just straighten up your room. Okay. And then, yes, about 8, 9 minutes.
Wait, but I was in your room.
I know, but I still need you to straighten up your room.
Okay.
Gotta love being a mom. Free hugs all the time. So I'm gonna just go in and get a little bit closer to this seam without cutting the actual thread here. So I just want to have a smooth nose. You know, when I first started these keepsakes, none of this mattered to me. I was like, rush, 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 let's get it done, get it out. They were so fun to make. But yes. He drank the water? Okay. Thank you for sharing with him. Yeah, sharing can be tough. Okay. So now we have our face piece here. I've got it all trimmed out. And when we go and stuff this, it'll look completely different. But this is now the face, or the front face of the bear. And we do have some arm pieces that still need to be added. Our foot detail, Daddy's little bunny, which is super cute. But we do have the back here, as I was showing some of you guys earlier, the back details of this memory bear, and then here's the front details. This was kind of like a jean material-esque, not fully jean, but that is the front of the memory bear. So I am gonna be all done because we homeschool, and I need to finish our homeschool lessons before we have football practice, and I need to make an iced coffee. So I am going to be trying to go live. Hi. A little bit more often on YouTube, and just share a little bit more. So thanks for hanging out with me. If you have any questions, feel free to follow me on Instagram at @keepsakes, or you can just follow me here and comment below or send a message. And yeah, if you're a keepsake maker, I'd love to connect and see where you're at, and I'd love to see your projects. So have a good one.